versus LCF, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, take us away.
Okay, guys, just a second. Okay, so hello, guys. We are back again with some exciting games today. This is me, the Who, and with me I have my two co-casters, Quentin and Z. So they will be, casting the game. So say hello to the chat, guys.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Vortex of Legends Season 2.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Quentin. Hi, Who.
Hello.
Round of 16, day 3.
Yeah.
So we have
Day 3.
Lakshmi Cheat Fund and Omen Legends. I've actually watched both of these teams, and both of these teams are actually very exciting. So I'm very excited for this series, the best of 3 right now that we have going on.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see. Both teams are pretty strong in their own right. So it's going to be fun matches up ahead for tonight, it seems.
Absolutely. And I think this will be another deep dive that we were talking about yesterday, which is what is the current meta, right? How is the current meta shaping up? This will be 2 great teams fighting and demonstrating their interpretation of the new patch that just came out very recently. So it will be very interesting to see how these 2 teams interpret that patch.
Indeed, one of the heroes that I want to see being played, if possible, is that Hilda, which has been buffed up pretty significantly and has been pretty strong in the current meta, if I have to say so myself.
Yeah, agreed. And today, watching the SPS, I was watching the SPS earlier today, and I saw Aurora actually picking up the Veil against RRQ, which was a very interesting pick. And I wonder if we see that, because based on my personal experience, Veil is like the unofficial hero of MLBB India.
That is true, and he's got significant buffs, not necessarily significant buffs, but few changes here and there that's made him sort of viable again. All the knockups getting reduced has actually reduced most of the heroes in the game, but it seems like Veil's combos and his damage has actually become more significant now after this ban.
Exactly, he can use his ultimate without really having to rely on that skill 2 knockup, right? Which is, I would say, a huge aspect when it comes to playing these kinds of heroes.
Yeah, I guess now we are just, while we wait for the players to come in, remember, guys, in chat, first of all, welcome to the Vortex of Legends Season 2, the round of 16, day 3. The first match between Lakshmi Cheat Fund and Omen Legends. This is Group D's matches. as we slowly enter towards those final matches that are going to be played out. The teams start getting better and better. And do remember to like the stream, subscribe to the channel, also follow us on the Instagram page at Yama Esports to stay updated on future information about the entire tournament.
Yep, and I believe there's a giveaway planned at 450 subscribers, if I'm not mistaken, which unfortunately we as casters can't take a part of. But if you guys want to join in the action for some free diamonds and free giveaways, you can hit that subscribe button and help us get to that 450 mark.
Indeed, so there is quite a few diamonds on the line. Not only diamonds, I believe few passes and few skins as well. Since that M6 is coming around, and the promo events have also started, it might be pretty helpful to have those diamonds at hand.
Oh, that's true. We do have that promo event coming up, and we do have that 11-11 skin, 11-11 event going on right now. I wonder if we're going to see a 11-11 Nolan from either of these teams.
That would be pretty fun. The Nolan has been doing quite a bit of damage, so he is a decent hero, especially in the jungle position. He's been doing pretty well. He's coming back, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. I think especially like playing against the Suyo in particular, who's a very prioritized hero, if he doesn't get banned and if he is getting picked by either of these sides, I see like one of two counters possible for the Suyo, right? One is the Alpha, who can actually just clear very quickly and just absolutely destroy what Suyo wants to do, because he's a tanky Alpha is a tanky hero that does true damage at the end of the day. So he can actually just combat the Suyo very easily. That is the ideal situation. But on the other side, I have seen instances where, and I think it works, which is using the Nolan to actually play around the map, because the Nolan has a much faster rotation speed than the Suyo and even the Alpha. So using the Nolan to flank, using the Nolan to just play around the map in order to actually handle that Suyo much better. So I do expect a Nolan in today's series at the very least.
Indeed, another hero which I do want to see myself personally is that Granger, which has been buffed up, which has been changed actually. So it's going to be interesting whether or not these teams do pick those heroes.
I'm a firm believer in the Granger right now, man. I think the Granger in particular is probably one of the strongest heroes. I mean, yes, Fanny is probably the best jungler right now, even better than Suyo since the recent buff, the recent patch. But the Granger does have that late game potential, especially like once you start racking up those stacks, because his passive kind of stacks now. So you get more energy as the game progresses, as you get more kills, as you get more minion kills, as you get more creep kills, and as you start racking up those energy, then you essentially have no cooldown.
That is true. That's a bold statement coming in where the meta's just changed. It's very debatable. We might spark a few controversies here and there, but it is true that Granger has become quite a menace if you just look at him from his kits, from the way he's been changed up. I'd say it's pretty good.
Yeah. I think he'll really shine in this kind of 5v5 situation when there's it's very good teams against each other, right? So that kind of a hero who is just very strong as the meta progresses in the current meta, that kind of a hero will be able to actually showcase exactly why he's considered so prioritized, and will be able to showcase why he is the way he is.
And with that statement, we are now waiting for the last member from the side of Omen Legends, so that we can start this up pretty quick and get on with the matches. What would happen here is we are still just waiting for the players to come in. Again, another reminder for everyone who is participating in the Vortex of Legends Season 2, also for future participants as well, there is a timer given to them. So be sure to respect the casters, the players, and also the viewers, most importantly, as we have to come on time, just be disciplined enough.
Yep. And there seems to be some sort of a issue when joining. So apparently the person from Omen that we're waiting on was not able to join. And for some reason, Johan has actually just swapped sides.
Interesting. That's always funny to see when those technical issues do apply, but it's our job as casters to keep this pretty fine, pretty dandy, as we are waiting for the players to come in slowly. We'll just play around.
A pathetic Mihawk, Junior, Puni. I believe Puni is the jungler for Omen, if I'm not mistaken, and Johan is the jungler for LCF, right? Just based on my previous experience with them. Obviously, we can see a swap in the roles, but it will be interesting to see how these two teams progress.
Yeah, and I guess with the two teams already locked in, the players are in here as well. I think so we can just jump right into this first match. So I believe who from the lobby makers do begin it as we jump right into the first match of tonight, the best of 3 between Lakshmi Chit Fund and Omen Legends.
Okay, guys, without any further delay, let's move in to the first game of today. Best of luck to both the teams.
Thank you.
The old reliable
Omen on the. It is Omen on the blue side, looks like. So they are going to be. I would assume they are going to be prioritizing either the Granger or the Suyo, because they should be very comfortable with their jungle, right?
Yeah, the patch has advanced fast enough for everyone to actually get a hold of these heroes, get accustomed to them. So we have to see what the bans will be changed up over here, though. That's going to be very interesting.
I agree. I wonder if Phobius is still as prior. So Matilda, yes, I agree. I mean, that's a very strong hero still. He is really rising up in this meta. And Omen actually takes it out of the pickle immediately.
Who said there are no shortcuts in life?
And with the side of LCF, they do immediately ban out the chip. Again, even though the knockups the airborns have been a little bit nerfed, he's still pretty reliable of a hero to actually just roam around the map. So pretty decent standard bans coming in from both teams right now.
Exactly. And I think this is one of the very few times that we'll see the chip getting banned from the red side, right? Normally we see a lot of the chip bans coming in from the blue side itself, which is, I mean, it's also a strat, I guess, to just open up some of the picks that they want and just steal the picks from the enemy. But, that's an interesting ban.
Interesting indeed, as we do see the Suyo getting banned out as well, something that you wanted to you actually predicted. So it was either the Granger or the Suyo. Now coming back to the low Yi pick, I believe that for the side of Omen, they don't really like being ganked behind their team. So they want to actually stop all these countermeasures, heroes like the Chip and the low Yi, something that they want to play safe around.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, with the Chip banned out, it was like Louis is not strong enough to just first pick blind, but she's also strong enough to just first pick on the red side after seeing the first pick from the blue side, right? So they don't want to get dealt with that Louis card, so they just take it out of the board, which I understand. And there's a Another interesting ban, the Ruby. In the previous patch, understandable, but with the recent nerfs, what do you think about Ruby's performance on them? I'm sorry, Quentin.
Well, the Ruby right now, she's still something that we cannot really underestimate. She can dish out the damage, the sustain as well is there. But I believe right now, according to the new patch that has come out, she's looking to be more of a roamer than she is a fighter. So that risk of just getting caught up in the chain stun of the Ruby, that's pretty scary.
Yeah, I agree. And speaking of chain CC, the Zook getting taken out by LCF as we head into the first pick. And it is the Sicilian. We should have expected this, I think. But yeah, the Sicilian, very strong, but at the same time, very risky.
And also first picking it, I mean, I guess it makes sense, especially against, if you have that first pick, it's very scary to go up against the Sicilian, especially when when the opponent knows your basic game plan. And that's the risk of being on the blue side, that you have to play this little mind game.
Exactly. You're always getting counteracted. And right there, we see the first two picks coming in from LCF actually showing that in full throttle. So the Sicilian pick, who kind of indicates more late game presence, immediately counterpicked with the Fanny as well as the Khalid, who both excel in the early game.
Yeah, they can just jump into the back line, the Raging Sandstorms and the Iron Cables from Fanny. She can just reach and assassinate Sicilian in the back. But Fredrin, we see the man himself.
Yep, and he is back, ladies and gentlemen. Fredrin is back with an Angela, no less. So, yeah, I actually like what Omen are cooking here, because they know that they can't contest against the Fanny's early game, and they also know that they want to play for the late game, but the Fredrin, with his inherent tankiness, will be able to actually hold off against the Fanny as well as the Khalid in their jungle.
That is true. An old classic combo with the Fredrin Angela gets picked up. Meanwhile, for the side of LCF, they do lock in their Eve as well. And with the Eve actually coming back into the meta with these high siege heroes, it's going to be interesting to see what happens over here, as this combination coming in from both teams are pretty different approaches altogether. One going for more of an aggressive route and one more defensively. But it's fun to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Eve also gives LCF that late game assurance, right? Yes, Eve is not necessarily known for her late game as much as Sicilian is, but you can rest assured that the Eve in the late game is an actual terrible thing to deal with. And as we see the marksman bands coming in the second phase.
Yeah, now the marksmen do start getting out. The Aerithel we have seen to do well, especially against a Fredrin. She can have a lot of movement speed, a lot of leverage in games. And the Nathan that we have to really talk about, he has been starting to scale up a lot more better nowadays.
And interestingly, so the Aerithel, right, she is normally one of the lane counters that is picked into the Nathan, right? So as soon as Omen, they saw that the Aerithel got banned, they realized that, okay, LCF have the first pick of the second phase, and they want to pick Nathan, I think, because the Aerithel was banned. So they just took it out of the equation. And there's another gold lane ban with the Harith, who is also a very oppressive laner. So I wonder who LCF is kind of thinking of picking in the gold lane.
Looking to the bans, there are quite a few heroes that could actually fit into this. We have heroes like the Melissa still open. We have the 1-1 still available. We have Claude and Brody, which have been really starting to rise. So this does narrow it down to a few certain heroes, but we have to see what happens here. As with the Claude getting banned, MPF.
Moskov is the old reliable, but I would have liked to see the Melissa here. You brought up a very good point, because I mean, the Fredrin does not like to deal with the Melissa. The Sicilian, he does have a lot of dashes, but he does not have. He does have a lot of movement speed, but does not have dashes. So the Sicilian will struggle against the Melissa as well. But yeah, we do see the Moscow getting locked in as Omen are headed towards their final pick, hovering on that Phobius, actually locking in that Phobius as well as the Beatrix, who is another rising marksman in that gold lane.
Yeah, and now with the Phobius pick, what I like about this is that there's a lot of dash coming in from the side of LCF. Even though he's been nerfed, he is known to be a natural counter to the Khalid. He can still do pretty well against the draft of LCF. We have to see how they rounded up with their roamer now.
It might just be a Khalid roam and EXP, yeah. And it is a good throat Kacha, who could go into the EXP very easily, actually.
Yeah, actually, there's a lot
of swap arounds.
Yes, few swap arounds here and there. Let's see how the match actually progresses. Both teams locking in pretty lovely drafts, if I need to say so myself. Both teams looking strong and good.
I am very excited for this best of 3 because this draft, if nothing else, shows that both of these teams have come with a game plan prepared, as well as how closely these guys compare to each other. So it will be very interesting to see who takes home that win and takes home that spot in the final 8 of VORTEX Legends Season 2.
And with that, with the teams loading in, welcome to the first match of the first game between Lakshmi Chit Fund and Omen Legends. The best of 3 begins right here as both teams lock in their drafts, and we enter game number 1.
Yep, and I think I was right in that when I said the Khalid might be going into the roam position, which is, I mean, it's not really saying much because, as you rightly pointed out, the Phobius does do very well against the Khalid, so it only makes sense that they kind of swap him around.
Yeah, and pretty good aggression coming in from the side of LTF right now. Look at the Khalid's roam's potential to just poke and feel around the map, just gives so much information for the rest of his team.
Yeah, and it does look like they're actually collapsing onto Mihawk here, but he pulls their Revitalize and does manage to just escape with his life. Recalling right now, but he is in a very bad situation when it comes to the first hurdle.
Exactly. This is going to put him behind the gods of Gacha, and it's very scary, especially knowing that there is a Fanny in the jungle just farming up. Once that first turtle spawns up, it's going to be pretty tight for the side of Omen.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he missed 2 waves. He did get 2 cannons, but he missed 2 whole waves outside of the cannon. So that is something that he does have to make up for. Mihawk. Oh, and there is a skirmish down bottom. And yep, the first kill goes to the hands of... and yeah, that's another kill to the hands of LCF. As they manage to take down both the Angela as well as Puni on this record.
The Beatrix also has forced to pop that flicker and barely get away. Now, this looks a lot better for the side of LCF. The red team are really getting to position here. And this is expected with picks like the Fanny, the Khalid, and the Yves. They have the potential to just set up. Now, we do see that the turtle does go over easily to the side of the red team, and the Fanny immediately looking to try and siege the rest of the members on the side of Omen Legends. We have the Moscow going in. The Quicksand Guard popped off pretty well, keeping the Khalid healthy. Now the Phobius in the backside is caught between 4 members, as the real wind manipulation does come out. This is a turnaround, as Khalid actually, as Gatot is the first to fall in that entire skirmish. Sicilian finally landing that bad impact to help his team out, but Eve on the other side takes down the Phobius as well. That's EXP for EXP. I'd say this was a good trade overall. And with that, I would say that...
Kill.
Yeah,
that was an amazing exchange from Omen. And in particular, I'm super impressed by Mihawk. He managed to get his level 4, a little bit late, yes, but he managed to actually hold his ground, 1v4, and actually win that trade by himself. So he was the reason why Omen were able to secure a positive trade there, despite losing the turtle. So yeah, I think this definitely shows why the Phobius was picked, as well as why LCF, quite rightly I might add, were so cautious around that Phobius.
Speaking of cautious, we have another team fight in the bot side. The hard card already getting used up. I guess a little bit too early, but with the Fanny going on the Sicilian, there's nothing to save him. The Fredrin is there locking down the Khalid. Will the Khalid be able to escape? Nope, the final Wrath is enough as Beatrix picks that kill up. As the Phobius, look at this return.
Yeah, the Phobius is actually just... Oh, and he's jumping onto... Oh, that was a nice attempt by Mihawk trying to just... Oh, and that is amazing.
Mihawk able to
absolutely unshakable.
All of that, goodness man, but look at the Sicilian, he almost gets the bat impact, the last bat impact to take down the Fanny. That would have been pretty critical for the side of LCF, if not pretty dangerous. The Raging Sandstorm is also used up.
Comes in. I mean, I don't think the Moscow wants to take it though. But yeah, so this is interesting because the Beatrix is actually quite ahead in gold simply because the Moscow rotated to that buff area in order to fight. Beatrix managed to take a lot of the gold shield back, and she also managed to get a kill. So
yeah, now the Fredrin going in with the hard guard as the rest of the members on the side of LCF try to collapse on him. He is still pretty tanky, but that is a jungler for a jungler trait. The real world manipulation does come out. Now the Gacha may be able to just take down the Angela, but the bat impacts coming in from the Sicilian is pretty tough as Khalid barely able to figure out of that.
Yeah, and this is going... I don't think this is going according to the plan for LCF because despite some very late game picks, especially in the carry position on the side of Omen, they're actually managing to just stay ahead of LCF. They're actually managing to fight back this early in the game. That does not bode well for the late game in particular.
That is true. It seems like Omen Legends, even though they may be losing neutral objectives, they are able to stay long enough. But as I speak of that, in the top side, a little bit of an overextension from the Phobius gets them killed by the hands of the Fanny.
Yeah, he manages to survive all those 1v4s, win out all those 1v4s, and then just gets picked off. That's
look at the position in the Khalid in the bot side. They seem to have already taken a tower trade back, but the Khalid going in with the real one manipulation as well popped there. Angela is the first to fall, but we do have Fredrin. The avatar of the Guardian does come down, but the final Wrath is able to keep himself alive for just a little bit. The Vengeance keeps the Gacha in proper health, but the Fanny trying to clean up is not able to get a few kills over here. The Spear of Destruction does land as Moskov tries to go back in, is able to buy Eve enough time to take down the Beatrix, but now the Moskov is pretty dangerous.
Oh no,
look at him.
Oh, and that's a flicker. He managed to actually escape. Mihawk does not catch Johan on this Moskov, and Mihawk is stuck now. This is a lot of back and forth when it comes to the thing. Ooh, the Mihawk does manage to peel out for the Angela, but I think that should be it for this mission.
Yeah,
oh no, we have another one going on over at the Turtles side.
There's so many fights all across the map, man. But overall, we can already see that the goal lead is starting to get a little bit higher. We have the Beatrix with the shotgun out, is able to dodge away from the Khalid. But I guess this is another pretty much free objective for the side of LCF. And if not taken care of, this might just scale up to be a dangerous position.
Yep, and they do manage to actually take down the Beatrix as well, which is a massive pick. As the real world manipulation comes in, manage to get that full...
We have
destruction comes in as well.
Sicilian getting ganked by 5 members almost from the side of LCF, as that another turret down for the side of Omen Legends. They are having to see that mid-game potential start up as the Raging Sandstorm into two members of the side of Omen. This might not look good for the Khalid, but he does have that flicker to keep himself healthy, as well as the quicksand guard. As the rest of LCF, they look to converge onto this mid tower. Will they get it? It seems like they do.
Unfortunately, it does look like Mihawk is getting out-rotated in these skirmishes. Like, the reason why Omen were able to actually come back into this game was because of Mihawk, but the reason why LCF again increased that difference is again because of the Phobius not winning the team fight. But he's here this time and we have a team fight going on. The real world manipulation is popped in, the fan comes back in. Managed to get a kill onto the Phobius. They managed to get 3 different kills. The real world manipulation actually managed to take down both of Pathetic as well as Mihawk. So that is a 0 for 3 trade on the side of LCF.
And with that, they can just get more objectives all across the map. Now, for the side of Omen, they are down to their inhibitors, so they have to play this a little bit more carefully. Wait for that Sicilian's damage to start racking up. Then only can they really take these fights. But it seems like LCF, they don't want to give that opportunity, that breathing room.
Yeah, I agree, because, I mean, they did for a little bit, and the Beatrix managed to show how scary that can be. Both the Beatrix and the Sicilian. And LCF seems to have regrouped and just managed to take back control with some very interesting and very, very smart macro play as well as micro outplays. They've been able to hold this on as they go back onto a Pathetic. A Pathetic is getting caught, cannot pop his ultimate, falls down. So does Uni on this Fredrin, so does Umieo on this Sicilian. So that, I think, is the strategy that LCF is actually going for. They are just engaging onto this Angela, not letting her ultimate anyone, and then just winning the ensuing team fight.
Goodness me, Error just walking up past all the turrets just to go straight to the Beatrix. The confidence that LCF are showing right now is pretty tight, as they already cracked that bot inhibitor, almost taking down the mid. We have a fight breaking out. The Vengeance is popped by the Gatakacha, but the Sanguine Claws is enough to keep him at bay. The Appraisal's Wrath is able to secure that kill as the Fanny comes in. Might get caught up in a very tight position, does get shut down over there. The Raging Sandstorm not enough to keep his team alive, as now the Eve is the next to be charged upon, but the Abyssal Sphere is there to actually keep his team feel enough for that one member to survive, as it seems like Omen Legends, they did defend this pretty well.
Yeah, but they did lose 2 inhibitors with the first Lord. So remember, this is not even the enhanced Lord. At this point, it's just the first Lord, and they lost 2 inhibitors, almost down to no inhibitors at all, because that mid lane turret is looking precariously low as well. So while they did manage to fight back, get some key shutdowns onto the key members of their team, the Sicilian as well as the Beatrix, they were not able to actually hold on to the inhibitor, which might be difficult to handle because, I mean, looking at the Lord dances and looking at the team composition brought in by LCF, LCF does have that Moskov, does have that Fanny. Both of them have that split push capability, right? Not having an inhibitor against those kinds of compositions is kind of difficult.
Scary nonetheless as another fight breaks out. Mihawk already taking a bunch of damage, but the Sicilian is there to counter that up, just doing quite a bit of damage here. That impact is starting to stack up, so we have about a little bit more time before the side of LCF can take it easy.
Yeah, and I think, interestingly, I don't think anyone on the side of Omen have actually built heal reduction. So it does look like the Angela is headed towards that, but so far, so there's 12 minutes into, almost 13 minutes into the game, and there is no heal cut against a Gatakacha and a Khalid and a Moscow.
And a Fanny.
Yeah, the Fanny. Recently, is also a massive healer when she steals damage.
Now LCF, they are starting up this Lord. The second lot of the game. This is an enhanced one, and Mihawk walking up pretty aggressively just gets immediately taken down. In the backside, we have the Fredrin try to go in, but seems like he does get caught off, doesn't not get that Lord. Now he's caught between 4 members. Will he be able to escape? Not for long, as Johan is there to actually take him down. The hard guard is able to escape for just a bit.
Did you see that? Jabal with the play of his life. That was amazing. That was a 4-man Raging Sandstorm flicker, and just managed to just take this game right there. That was amazing.
Beautiful play coming in from the side of the lead gives the side of LCF their first win in this best of 3. Now we will move on to the second match. Both teams played out pretty well here. Seemed like Omen were struggling here and there against the early game composition that LCF did pull out. So we have to see whether or not that might change in this second round.
Yep. I think this time around, Omen is not going to risk it with the Fanny. The Fanny, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, the Fanny is the strongest jungler right now, like bar none, just because of the recent changes. Yes, the skill ceiling has increased, but that's for like the normal players, right? At this level, all of these players can play the Fanny at a very, very high level. And as such, leaving it open is, I think, not an option anymore, especially when you're on the red side, and especially not taking it when you're on the blue side. So we should be seeing that Fanny getting banned.
As we do enter game number 2, and the score is 1-0 for the side of LCF. Omen Legends, will they be able to actually make that comeback? It's going to be interesting to see. But now we do have LCF on the blue side and Omen on the red. Let's see whether they change up that strategy that they have.
Yep, the Matilda ban. So both teams actually banning out the Matilda when they're on the blue side. And yes, there is the Fanny ban. Completely expected. I predicted it, I think, but yeah, I think anyone would have predicted it after that game.
Yeah, but show-stopping performance from the side of, I believe it was Lomamai. Exactly.
Does that mean anything? Lomamai?
I'm afraid to repeat it over and over again. But we have the Phobius getting banned out as well. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Mihawk's Phobius did cause the side of LCF a little bit of trouble, especially in the early game. Yeah. So that's interesting.
Exactly. Does that mean something? Like, should I not be saying it?
I am not sure. Maybe the viewers in the chat could educate us. But coming back to the bans, we have Ruby also getting taken care of from Omen Legends, and now that chip is still available, it's going to be interesting how the bans are changing up right now.
Yeah, absolutely. The Ruby does get banned. I wonder if LCF will actually ban out the chip, despite being on the blue side. I mean, them banning the chip, and they do. They actually do. So they don't want to deal with the chip. So
the immortal one chose
and the Swede does get banned, so we might see a Louis being picked by Peter. Oh, the Zushin is open.
Leave that one hero open, another team is quick to react. So with the Zushin left open, they just immediately are capable enough. They are happy with that pick LCF. Let's see what Omen Legends have to actually counter this single pick right here, or whether or not they might just change up the entire strategy.
Okay, so it looks like Pathetic is headed towards a more pick-off hero as opposed to a support from last game, which I actually like. I think the Cho is a very smart pick against the Zushin, and the Cho can also flex, right? He can still go to the EXP, depending on the EXP matchup, so I do like it. And yes, there's the Khalid as well.
Taking a page out of the books of LCF, they picked up the Khalid. And now it's going to be very interesting to see that is 2 frontline heroes going up against the Zushin. I'm not sure whether or not I like this. It can be a 50-50, a risk and reward. But now that opens up the side of LCF to actually pick a few more heroes to just counter the side of Omen.
Still waters run deep.
And interestingly, like both Khalid and Cho can go to the EXP and can go to the roam, right? So Mihawk and Apathetic can actually swap between themselves, these heroes, depending on what is picked. So looking at the LCF pick, the Ling as well as the Gatotkacha, I mean, I would think that the Cho going into the EXP would make a little bit more sense than the Khalid.
Yeah, Era pretty comfortable on his Katot. He does have that vengeance to keep himself alive. He is pretty good in the lane as well, able to hold out for quite a bit. And Omen Legends, they are at the last ban of the first phase. They have three choices to make here, whether or not they'll pick a mage to actually counter the scaling from the side of Zushin is going to be interesting. That Sicilian still hovers around. Will they go for that again, or will they pick up a jungler instead?
I think they should pick the Eve at this point, right? The Eve does okay, it's the Paramus, but the Eve does very well against the Zushin. So I'm kind of surprised they don't pick. Oh, I guess the Eve pick was counteracted by the Gatotkacha as well as the Link that has already been picked up by LCS. So the Paramus actually, under those circumstances, makes a lot of sense.
That the risk and reward is still there, and sometimes you need to take those risks. It seems like Omen, they go for a safer route with the Paramus, was able to keep his team alive, but if the damage coming in from the side of Lakshman's Fund is a little too much, then it could be disastrous for the side of Omen.
Yeah, I agree. And as we head towards the second phase, the Hilda does get banned, and that's a very smart ban, especially against the pick Khalid and Cho. Both of them will struggle against the Hilda, no matter who goes into the EXP, who goes into the roam. So that's a very smart ban, I think.
Yeah, Omen, they don't want to take any more chances. They do ban out the Hilda. So, in response, for the side of LCF, they do take out the Harris. They did take it off last match as well, so they don't really like playing against these high movement heroes in the goal lane, it seems.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if we're going to see a Natan from either of these sides looking at the bans right now. The Natan is still open. The Irithel was banned as a potential counter to the Natan. But let's see if, I mean, LCF could do something very interesting. They could actually force Omen to actually pick the Natan, or let them pick the Natan by banning the Irithel at this stage, which would be a very interesting kind of approach.
That would be pretty interesting. I feel like another Claude band is coming in over here just to free up a little bit more space. We did see the Moskov getting banned away. A lot of respect bans this second round. Again, Omen Legends, they are at match point right now, so we have to see whether or not they are capable enough to make that comeback. As the Alpha gets banned away for the side of LCF, they don't want anything to trouble the Ling in the jungle.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense as well. So I might be getting my wish of seeing the Nolan at this stage, but I mean, I would also like to see the Claude getting picked up at this stage by Omen, because if they give the Claude to LCF, they have a very easy way to counter the Netherrealm coming in from the Paramus. Ooh, it's a joy.
A hero that we haven't talked about much. Simply because she hasn't been performing as well. But now with the current patches that have been made to Joy, she seems to be coming back. So it's going to be interesting whether or not Omen Legends, they are able to pull this off. But that's a lot of dashes for their side.
Yep, but they will. There is a chance that they struggle against the Gatotkacha, right? However, I mean, their strategy of just banning out that Aris is a little bit difficult now because of Joy, but it looks like they're going to go for the Sprint Irithel, who is one of those heroes that can actually just outrun the Joy at the very least.
Yeah, and they do lock it in with a Hylos. It complements the rest of his team pretty well, as they do need that little bit of escape, especially once the Irithel pops her ultimate as well as the Sprint. So it would be pretty easier with the Hylos' ability to support his team.
Yeah, exactly. Joy's beats is not going to actually beat them down because the Hylos can just pop his glorious halfway and just run away with the team and just look for a better re-engage. So I do like that pick. I do like these picks very much.
Now, for the side of Omen Legends, they can pick the Nathan up, but that could be a pretty big risk. Another good hero that they have for options is that Claude. Let's see, the clock is starting to run down, but it seems like they are locking in the 1-1.
The 1-1 is very good here because with the Gatot Kacha as well as the Hylos gives her that free ultimate targets, right? Both of them are tanky, but both of them are frontliners, so the 1-1 should have an easier time proccing the ultimate. However, looking at the composition brought by the side of LCF, it is a question if just popping the ultimate is going to be enough, because you also got to be able to kill these really, really tanky frontliners.
Yeah, I guess with both teams locking it, they've actually reversed their roles, you could say. The last game, we did see Omen going in for a more late game centered draft, and this time around they are going a little bit more aggressive route, even though they do have the Joy and the 1-1 which scale better into that late game.
Yeah.
Overall, I'd say that for the side of LCF, they've got a more late game potential here.
Yeah, whose draft do you like more, Lenton?
I will again stay by that Ling. I always like to see a Ling being played, so I will sort of support LCF, but both teams seem pretty strong as we enter the second game between LCF and Omen Legends. Omen Legends are at match point, and LCF, let's see whether or not they'll crack into the quarterfinals.
Yep, and okay, just standard rotation, both sides starting opposite the gold lane so that they can kind of start, we can see that first skirmish around the gold lane area.
And not much
is a little bit slow because he didn't get anyone's help with the jungle clear, unfortunately.
This might be interesting to see the Hylos trying to zone away the Joy from her own jungle, but it does not seem to be a problem as the Joy is farming up pretty quickly. We have a fight in the mid side. The Yuzushin, it's pretty low.
Yep. And, ooh, the Joy actually looked for something in the enemy jungle. If Puni had actually just walked over to the blue buff side, he would have seen that blue buff up and he would have probably been able to steal it. But there's a skirmish going down bottom. The electrifying gets popped in.
But it is Kacha with Revitalize at that. He is pretty healthy right now. We have a fight back brewing in the mid side. We already see that the Cho is getting pulled up by the Zushin. Might get first blood over here, but is able to immune that crowd control just a wave. Meanwhile, on the top side, we have a almost reverse kill from the 1-1, who almost takes down Lom in the process.
Yep, and that was it. That was interesting because Lom did have level 4. And the Iris Home was ready. She did have her battle spells, but I guess the strength of the Inspire as well as the protection from under the turret is too strong.
Yeah, and it seems like Omen Legends, they are playing this out pretty better than they did last game. They have a more comfortable position right now, but it seems like LCF, they have the better position at the turtle. A little bit of a fight might break out over here as the rest of the teams are collapsing onto this. The Raging Sandstorm getting on two in the backside. The Hylos coming in, but does not have ult yet. We have the other Kacha jumping right into it as well, as Joy is the first one to take down the enemy on this side of the red team. She does secure the turtle as well. They lose 2, but I'd say it's a reasonable trade coming in, especially in this early game skirmish.
Yeah, that's a 2 for 2 essentially. And the Joy managed to just escape with her life. But did you see those combo wombos there? Mihawk going in with the Raging Sandstorm with the flicker, getting 2. However, the Hylos actually managed to stabilize it with his Revitalize, and then Error on this Gatot Kacha going in with that Avatar of Guardian. just...
A lot of damage going on. We have a fight in the top side. We have the 1-1. She is trying to proc her ultimate, but the rest of the members on the side of the LCF, they are pretty low. The Ling is able to pick up a killing spree over there, but now here comes support from the Zushin, pulling back the Joy, trying to do a little bit more tearing apart onto the side of the Reg. Overall, now with the Khalid rotating back in, is forced to flicker out. The Avatar of the Guardian is also used up, but now that the Khalid is in a tight spot, a lot of spells being used over here as the Tempest of Blades is also down. The 1-1 not being able to proc her ultimate right now, keeping that up right for the moment, trying to get into a better position. In the backside, we do see a double kill from the side of the Electrifying Beats, as a mega kill is picked up by the Ling, but a shutdown onto the side of the 1-1, giving her a little bit more leverage in this gold lane, if I must say right now. Seems everything looks kind of level, but we might see another kill here, another misstep.
She also still has her ultimate. She still has the crossbow of Tang, so I would say the 1-1 is actually in a pretty decent position right now. But yeah, does not pop it, does not want to take any risk, especially with the Inspire not up yet. I wonder if that's why she didn't pop the crossbow of Tang in that previous fight, because she didn't have the Inspire, and the Gundam Kacha, I mean, it's a Gundam Kacha, right? He might just survive with it.
Yeah, and speaking of that, the second turtle of the game does spawn. As the side of Omen Legends, they want to secure this second turtle too. Do we have a fight going in? The Zushin trying to pick up a few members over here. The Glorious Pathway already extended, but now the first of all is apathetic, and that just changes the course of this entire fight. The Avatar of the Guardian does pick up Buni as well, as the Link trying to jump onto the Khalid. He does not have the Tempest of Blades, but is enough to give leverage for the rest of his team. Now the 1-1 in the mid side is pretty low, gets knocked up a lot. The Zushin going in pretty aggressively, as the Iritel is not able to connect fast enough. 1-1 does survive a little bit more. It seems like for the side of Omen Legends, they are relying heavily on the damage coming in from the 1.
Yeah, I mean, right now they only have the damage coming in from the Joy, right? Like, as the game progresses, Paramis damage is going to be online, so is the 1-1, and they will be able to fight a much better fight. But right now, it is kind of difficult, as we do see that 1-1 getting picked off in the top lane under her own turret. So yeah, at this stage, nowhere is safe for Omen Legends.
Yup, LCF, they do take the first major objective, that is that top turret. The bot turret is pretty low for the side of Omen, but it is a Gathoth defending it. It's not going to go down that easy, as it seems like now LCF, they're doing what they do best, rotate around the map and try to get a little bit more leverage, a little bit more resources. As look at the Khalid, the Avatar of the Guardian, is there to clean things up as the pathway does come out to sustain his team. The Link is also there. This is going to be a 5v3 fight over here, as the 1-1 tries to come back into this engagement. The mid turret does fall, so does the Joy. Buni just getting destroyed among 5 members for the side of LCF.
Ooh, but that was an amazing pick by Pathetic. He managed to actually get that pick onto the Duracell, the marksman of the opposing side, and get that kill. However, there is a re-engage coming in from the side of LCF. They managed to catch the Cho. They managed to take down the Cho, but do trade their own Hylos to roam on this Hylos in return. So it looks like they're going for the third turtle, and it does not look like there is any intention to actually contest this.
Omen on the other side, they want to take turrets for themselves. They do secure 2 in the process. I'd say it's a fair trade, especially since they lost the turtle. The 1-1 now does get caught, but is able to just immune herself out of that. The Galakacha not being able to do much here. He does not have his Avatar of the Guardian. Might get picked off, as the Cho still has the Way of the Dragon. But yep, the Khalid jumped back in, trying to take down the Zushin, is able to do so. But we might see a turnaround from the side of LCF. We have the Glorious Pathway already get popped. Neox is the first to fall in that entire fight, as the rest of the team try to go on to the Iritel. Joy with the Electrifying Beats is able to secure that, as now the Cho trying to get into a better position here. The 1-1 does
and that, I think, is the first time we saw the crossbow of Tang in this whole game, and she does manage to take down two people. I don't think she got the final hits on either of them, but that is two kills from the 1-1. However, the Ling does go into her, and well, he's not going to re-engage. So, yep, that should be it. That was a very action-packed 8 minutes of the game so far, and I think we're not going to stop anytime soon for Ventus.
That is true. It was a lovely turnaround. This game, the opening they really wanted, and it just shows that late game potential that they have as well. As now we might see another takedown on the top side. We have the Ling in a very risky position, does go down. They will try to take down Kuni instead for a exchange, but she is in a pretty defensive state. They'll be happy to just walk away with the turrets. Now with the rest of the members of Omen trying to collapse onto the we have a huge fight breaking out here. Joe is pretty low. Zushin able to pick that off as 1-1 takes down the mid turrets. A few changes are happening over here. Now the Zushin caught in a very bad positioning. The AOG is used up, as well as the Promise taking good leverage over there. But will it be enough actually? Will the Hylos be able to chase down the 1-1? It seems like no. Now the shutdowns are starting to come up. Ling is able to fly around the map. 1-1 in a tight spot. May be able to just regen enough just from dashing away. Able to escape the wrath of the horseman.
Yeah, this was crazy. The fight was split up all over the place. We saw Jubom and Jubom and Error both go into the 1-1, but 1-1 actually managed to survive both of their engages, which was very impressive, and also managed to just survive that chase with her life while watching her team actually take down the Irisel.
Yeah, now we have another engage in the blue side jungle, the killing spree onto the Joy. They are able to take down the Ling. Now the Joy is caught up in a pretty interesting position, but with the 1-1 coming around, it seems like LCF, they have to turn this around somehow. The Lord is getting started up over there, but the rest of the members of Omen are pretty low. The Glorious Pathway is already used up. Now the Joy in a tight position gets shut down by the Zushin. It seems like the 1-1 is trying to get her ultimate propped over there, but the Khalid is there to help heal for her. Seems like both teams, they want to either focus on the Lord War team fights, but they can't actually let go because both the junglers are down. The Ling is still up now. We have the Raging Sandstorm, but it does completely miss. Now this is turning into a bad position, but with the crossbow of tanks still available, it could be anyone's game. Mihawk is the first to fall in that fight, but it's apathetic. He is taken down. We have the Ling on the backside with the Tempest of Blades able to take down the Paramis, and now LCF in a much better position than they were all game. They have been able to take down 3 members onto the side of Omen Legends and secure that lore.
Yeah, and after taking down Lom Mai on this Ling, I would have thought that Omen were in a great position to actually fight that Lord. However, they were too low, and because they were too low, they could not actually re-engage when they were engaged on, even in a 4v5 situation by LCF. And as a result, I mean, they've lost the Lord, but I don't think they have the defense to actually handle this Lord at this point in time. At least.
Yeah, it is a 10-minute Lord, but this might be a little bit of a mistake. The Joy is still spotted out. Uni is forced to retreat back against the 3-man comp coming in from the side of LCF. Now, we do see that the Faramis is in a pretty interesting position, but the turrets are starting to fall. Meanwhile, on the top side, we might see that the Cho gets dove on the tower. The Glorious Pathway is extended as Irithel takes that top tower as well, being able to take down Apathetic. The Lord does go down, but it seems like they want other objectives as well. The Inhibitors now pushed back 12 minutes in. Seems like LCF, they are going in pretty aggressive. The AOG already used up aggressively. We do still have the Nether Realm. It does get popped over there. Will this be enough damage? No, the Electrifying Beast able to run away the Joy, but the Tempest of Blades trying to get a few kills in here, a little bit too greedy from the side of Lom Lom. Does take him down, but with that they are able to secure 2 turrets. Now Remage coming in, a good Raging Sandstorm into the Glorious Pathway, gets a triple kill for the side of the 1. Will she get able to get multiple? So she does fly, exploring the Maniac. Zushin left to fly away. She's going for more here. Will this happen? Will the Zushin get away? The Winter Crown is used up. They have to take out Yumio. The Zushin surviving long enough. The 1-1 can't go back in. She's trying her best over here. She might just be able to secure this, but no! She does get that kill, but a shutdown from the side of who is Bird Peter. Goodness me!
Yeah, man, I think that play right there actually answered it. He is the man. That is who Peter is. That play was amazing. I mean, he had no right surviving that. He had no right killing the 1-1. But the Winter Truncheon, or the Winter Crown play, into the ultimate, into that floating lantern to actually just take down the 1-1, despite everything that she has in her kit to actually avoid this kind of situation, was an actually amazing play.
Goodness, man, it was a good turnaround, looking pretty good for the side of Omen, but a little bit too aggressive, a little bit too greedy. It just turned this entire thing around. Now it seems like with the Lord spawning up, both teams might have another huge clash. Maybe not.
This is a 5v5. This is a 5v5. The Lord has been started, and it looks like they're actually going into the
Lord with the glorious pathway already used up. The Lord is pretty low over there. The Avatar of the Guardian is
However,
there's
a push going on in the base. The leg. Look at the leg. Oh, he does not manage to finish it. He does not have the minion.
The Link still has
this is a disaster.
The Link still has the Tempest of Blade. It's probably not
outside. This is amazing. The Joy actually managed to secure that goal. So this is the turnaround play that Omen had been looking for all game long, and it might have come out because of a mistake by Longlock Mike, who's been so good throughout this series.
Goodness, man, one slight mistake, one little minion not entering the field of the turret just gives Omen Legends that little bit of breathing room. Now they can start making leverage of this 14-minute Lord and just take down turrets. But it seems like they're not going down without a fight. So we have to make a chance of finishing on the 4. And I guess that is it. Avatar of the Guardian and they attempt to try and defend against this Lord. The Ling is back up, but the killing should be secured by the 1-1. Will it be enough? The Tempest of Blades is also used up over there, but Apathetic is the first to fall. We have Unfold going down as well as a double kill is picked up for the side of the Ling. Here comes in with the triple, but now the Joy with the Electrifying Beast is not able to actually connect onto the Ling. Ling might just go in onto Pooney, just securing a Maniac off his own. And with that, this is a full turnaround. That's so amazing to see, Z.
Yeah, that should not have happened. I have no idea how that happened. I hope we get a chance to replay this after the game, but that should not have happened there. They were in the advantage. They actually managed to pick off Johan on this Irithel. They had every single thing needed to actually win that. I wonder, Umio actually cutting the waves, trying to get some time, and he did buy enough time, I think, to
keep the team alive. We have the Glorious Pathway already used up, but the crossbow of Tang is used as well, as he gets 2 members. Look at this, a turnaround completely, as it seems like LCF, they also made a mistake getting 3 members.
What is going on? What is going on here?
Are you not entertained?
Both of these teams are actually getting a little bit too excited, I guess. That is another thing that should not have happened. The 1-1 is coming back. There is no need to actually overextend, right? However, yeah, this time they do have the minion. The Avatar of Guardian does get off in, and they manage to get that kill on. And this time again, the minion in the base.
Goodness, man, the Irithel might go down here. The Raging Sandstorm completely misses and gives Irithel enough leverage to actually keep himself alive. The Quick Sand Guard is there, but it's not going to be enough to keep Mihawk alive, as the rest of LCF, they're just hunting the members of Omen Legends now. Ling finds Umio in the top side, pops the immortality as well.
Don't want to give any time for. So now it's again looking like they're trying to hold on to the minion, and he does manage to actually hold on to the minion a little bit, so the 1-1 is coming back. The 1-1
Will
is
it be? No, I don't think so.
No,
1-1
it's
immediately
not
getting
going to be.
melted. And that's game. Congratulations to both teams. Goodness me, we had a show right here. That was a good fight till the end for the side of Home Legends. Sadly, they do get knocked out of the competition, and LCF Luxmich Fund do move on to the quarterfinals, and that's going to be it for this first series of tonight. Any comments?
I mean, after that game, nothing at all. I just want to go back. I just want to watch that match again because that was some of the most entertaining Mobile Legends I have seen in a while. Because it was just back and forth, back and forth. In that mid lane, it was kind of like a brawl, but it was just going back and forth, right? Every time a team managed to break into the enemy team's base, they get knocked out. They just get melted. And then the same thing happens on the other side, and the same thing happens on the other side, and the same thing happens on the other side. That was crazy. That was an amazing series. Well played to both these teams. Unfortunately, there can only be one winner, and today that winner was Luxfeed Cheat Fund. So congratulations to Luxfeed Cheat Fund on advancing to the round of 8.
Yeah, and with that, we'll go into a short break as we will be coming back to you in a little bit. So I guess we'll take a short break. Hello, hello, guys. Welcome back to the Vortex of Legends Season 2. I guess all our viewers saw the team, the players come in. We are entering the second match of tonight between Demonic Creed and Boomer Esports. I'm your caster for tonight's event with my good co-caster, Nugent.
Hello, hello everybody. It's good to be back with the second match of the night between Team Demonic Creed and Team Boomer Esports. The last game already was so great. I hope this game will even bring more action to us, Quentin.
Indeed, this is going to be very interesting to see DC, a very strong team against Boomer Esports, who cannot be slept on as well. And according to the meta as well, changing so frequently, going to be interesting this match. Let's just go straight into it.
Yes, sir. We are just waiting for the draft to start. But meanwhile, guys, if you are just joining in, this is the Vortex of Legends Season 2 brought to you by Yama Esports. And we are already in for the second match of the night, the first game in this best of 3 series between Team DC on the blue side and Team Boomer Esports on the red side. Quentin, what do you think the ban will come in?
Well, from the past few matches that we've had, Matilda, Sicilian, we have a few changes here and there to the meta. We have the chip getting constantly banned out still. Also, the Zusians as well. So it's going to be interesting what these two teams have up for themselves. Let's see what happens here as DC, they do have that first ban.
I feel like, the Sicilian is something the teams can really get used to now because that hero is really rising in the current meta, along with that, the double-edged sword pick that is the Mia, like very popular in the rank pick nowadays. You don't get to see it in the tournaments though, but do you think it is viable to
The
pick?
immortal one chose me to vanquish
Mia,
the
I think so. Teams have already
world.
learned how to counter her, so that's why we don't see her much. But we have the bans already coming in, the Zushin and the Suyo, few heroes that we are predictably able to see that they are a menace once they enter the land of dawn.
Absolutely, like we talked about it before, this Suyo not getting any nerf was really surprising for us. Like how rampant he is in the current meta is something, I thought the developer would look and, give him the punishment, but he's just going unpunished. But here comes the, this little girl that is the Joy Van.
The little girl, indeed, the electrifying beater. But the Joy getting banned away does show that DC, they've done their research on the current patch. They are pretty comfortable with it. They don't really want to go up against someone that can dish out so much damage. And now with Boomer, they are up to their bans.
Yes, with the current, patch coming in, this hero really received a good buff. I would say the shortened cooldown on the second skill, not the cooldown, but the recoil from that beats to like recharge it again is pretty short. So it can be pretty spammable, and yeah, in the long run, that hero can be pretty lethal for the backline. But with that being said, here comes the Aurora ban. Nothing surprising, I think.
Yeah, pretty standard bans coming around. Both teams going back and forth. One bans a jungler and mage, the other does the same. Now let's see what DC have in store for that last ban. Whether or not they might just take out another meta hero or just something that they're not comfortable with. And that is the Phobius.
I think they're not too comfortable with the Phobius. You mentioned that right, but I'm surprised. Team Boomer Esports, they haven't banned the chip yet. I think are they comfortable playing around that hero against that hero? I mean.
With Carmela always being open, there is chances for that counter. We have Louis as well, and now especially since there is that Nolan coming back into the meta who can roam around pretty fast, the chip is going to be still available, but I think they have countermeasures. That's why they ban out the Khalid instead.
I mean, that's a bold move, coming in from the side of Boomer Esports, because Chip has almost 100% ban rate in most international tournaments, and yeah, leaving it open, I think Team Boomer Esports won't regret it here, because as far as I know, Wiz does play that hero and he's pretty good at it. So if DC want, they can go for that pick, but there are other good heroes that are open as well. But will they gamble leaving the chip open here for the side of Boomer Esports?
Let's see what happens here as we come down to the clock, as the Sicilian is the first to get picked up by fourth.
Yes, sir. I was talking about the Sicilian, and there comes the hero. So I think that's a good pick to have for the late game. But To be honest, the early game is gonna be pretty hard for the Sicilian in the mid lane, and if he's matched up against melee heroes, so I think it's gonna be a bit even more harder time for this hero to come online.
With the Sicilian getting locked in, let's see what Boomer Esports have to respond. They are showing the Matilda, which I would be pretty happy about. But still, yeah, again, that question remains: where's the chip gonna go? Will it even get picked here? As the Alpha does get locked in immediately for the CH, they are happy with it.
I mean, this Alpha and this Matilda combo is pretty good. I think they're trying. Like the priority that they have, Boomer Esports here, is like for that fast rotation and also marking that back line. I mean, the Sicilian is just gonna be standing at the end of the team, front liner and just gonna dash the damage. The bat impact is just gonna be so lethal as the stacks will keep on increasing. But with this Matilda coming in, it's a good measure against that Sicilian, I would say.
Yeah, and now we have to see what DC have in response to that. This is going to be very interesting what they really pick up. They do take up that Hilda, which I was excited from the beginning to see, especially since the patch has been changed. And so, probably even at lane, maybe. Will they lock it in, Demonic Creed?
I mean, they can here, because the Hilda is the direct counter to us as assassins, and having that Hilda in your team is something, good strat coming in from the side of Team DC here to, to disregard or to deny that pick towards Boomer Esports to get countered instead. But yeah, surprisingly the chip is still unpicked here. That is really kind of poking me in some sense.
Kind of poking indeed. Well, let's see what Boomer have in response to this very, very heavily changed meta right now. They do need to they could just round it up with a decent mage, maybe something like the Eve or even the Farsa that does do well. But let's see what they have in their mind.
I think they will go for the Vexana here because it is still open for the pick, and there it is. Vexana is a pretty stable pick in the mid lane. Good wave clear, good CC, and the ultimate is always an extra member for your team. So I think that's a good pick coming in for the side of Boomer Esports here.
Yeah, it's a pretty reasonable pick. It does do well, especially against the dive composition that DC can put out. But let's see, we have entering the second phase of the bans. So any thoughts on that?
I think we will see more of, gold lane bans here. I think they will deny that perhaps what do you say, that Nathan here, maybe Nathan or Van can be a good ban here because it is suddenly rising in the meta, so they can deny that hero if they want, but here comes the chip ban finally after so long.
Goodness me. That the flex potential from the Hilda is pretty understandable, so they do ban out that chip. Now Gazakasa getting banned away as well, so it seems like DC, they have a different plan. They might just send this Hilda into the home position.
I don't think so. The Hilda would do good against the Alpha jungle because that Hilda cannot poke that Alpha so much because with the true damage coming in from that Alpha's ticket, it would be difficult for that Hilda to even do much in the mid to late game. So I think putting that hero into the EXP lane would be much more reasonable here. But yeah, the flex potential is still there. If they want to, they can do that.
Yeah, Matrix is banned out as well. So now we are coming down to the gold lane bans you were talking about. So Demonic Creed, they have that option as well to take down a few more gold laners, preferably even the Moskov or something around those lines.
Indeed, the Moskov is a good ban. It's a reasonable ban as well because DC did not have too much target lock hero except for that Matilda here, and with the help of that Alpha they can dive into a Moskov, but the global ultimate from that Moskov, the Sphere of Destruction, is something very lethal to counter against because he can be anywhere on the map and just come to the team fights pretty quickly, but with the edit being banned here, the Moskov will be open for the take.
Goodness, man, that Edith ban, it seems like Demonic Creed, they're just setting up for this Hilda's full potential. They're just going to limit test the heck out of this Hilda.
Indeed. I mean, Hilda is pretty buffed right now with the second skill being more, dealing more damage, and I think they want to play around this Hilda more than the Ling and the Sicilian for at least for the first half of the game. So that's a reasonable bans for that Hilda to be much more viable in the EXP lane. But with the Bruno being locked in, do you think that's a good pick here?
The Bruno is a decent hero. He is able to dish out a lot of damage and take down turrets pretty effectively. I'd say it's an all-right pick for the side of Boomer Esports. Now, Demonic Creed, we have to see how they respond with it. They are hovering the Aerosol, and that is a lovely skin for the Tiger.
Indeed, that's the new skin for the Tiger, which just recently got released. But yes, with the ritual being locked in here, I think that's a pretty solid goal lane to have with the mobility. She can really be, difficult to catch around, and with the Grok being the front line, I think that ritual can be a pretty difficult target to mark for the side of Team Boomer Esports here.
Goodness me, so this is going to be the Hilda on that EXP, and this Grok will be going to the roam. His knockup has been reduced significantly, I'd say, but he's still pretty good. Now it'll all come down to the walls that he puts down, and I know very well that Wiz, with those walls, he can pretty much do magic.
Yes, it will be the taller than even the Great Wall of China from Wiz with those Guardian barriers. But will Team Boomer Esports have those wings from those Red Bulls? I mean, not the Red Bull, but the Matilda's wings will be enough for them to cross those high walls here or not is the question, though.
As the Ruby is locked in as the final pick for the side of Boomer Esports. Both teams are pretty interesting. They are testing out the new meta that has come out and countermeasures to that meta. So, which team do you prefer in this composition?
Both the teams have different approaches out here. Team Boomer Esports, they're going with a bit front-to-back composition with a bit more stable picks. Their picks they need some time to get online, so they are playing for that mid to late game power spike much more. But whereas for the side of Team DC, they are playing for the late game much more effectively because 3 of their heroes are pretty late game based, and what they have is the tanky front line to just sustain the damage for that early game. But looking at it, if Team Boomer Esports can go for the snowball here, I think it can be a GG for the side of Team DC here, though.
It will all come down to how the matches are played out. So it's going to be interesting as we do enter game number 1 between Demonic Creed and Boomer Esports. Let's see which team do play out pretty well over here. Take it away, Rugen.
Indeed, with these matchups coming in between the Hilda and the Ruby, it's going to be interesting to see which hero can be more active on the map. I think this Ling will have a pretty easy time farming because there's not much hero to annoy his farm or take away the jungle away from him. But we can already see the Hilda cutting the wave here, Quentin.
Yeah, and this is the power of the Hilda. Her early game damage is pretty scary, so you can just see Ruby just walking past. He does not want any of that. But now we have to see in mid-side, there are skirmishes happening around, and it seems like the Matilda Vexana classic combo is working out pretty well. Now look at the rotation coming in from the Hilda. He's just annoying the Alpha out of his jungle. Might be a risky play though, Kenji. Grok is there to help him out.
Oh, look at the bat impact getting the first kill will go in the hands of Kentizi here, but the blue buff is still there and the Link will be able to take it out with the retribution, and there comes the Ruby with the CC and the Hilda in a tight position, bit low, but here comes the Grok, but the rotation is pretty good from the side of Team Boomer Esports. Will get the triple kill there, Quentin.
3 men down. I'd say that's a good response to the aggression that Demonic Creed they tried to put out, but I think so they're overestimating their comps damage. Yes, they have the Hilda, but Sicilian, Ling, Grok, these are not heroes that are meant to go into the jungle of the enemy team. They're supposed to just take this slow. Now the Hilda is going back in, the Ling is in position as well. They might get this kill over here onto the Ruby, but the Ruby is able to survive. Not for long though, being able to secure that kill, but the Grok gets traded out. Now the Tempest of Blades is used into the Sanguine Claw. Gives a double kill for the side of Nick, as the Ling starts to get farmed up pretty well right now before this turtle.
Indeed, sir, the Sicilian was able to take that blue buff away, denying that level 4 to that Alpha, and that just played out so well for the side of DC here. They got the better trade, they lost. Whatever goal that they had lost is all back to their side, and yeah, that's a good comeback from the side of DC here. Just 2 minutes into the game, and this game is looking already so, action-packed here, Quentin.
Very action-packed indeed, both of these teams brawling it out pretty well. We have to see what happens as the first turtle does spawn up. The Hilda again plays so aggressively as he should. Might just get taken down in this process. The Sanguine Claw is trying to get a little bit of peel, but the rest of Boomer Esports secure that kill and potentially this first turtle.
You know, Quentin, this is what I was talking about. That true damage from that Alpha will be able to take down. But here comes another engage. Look at that, Quentin.
We have the Tempest of Blades already getting used up. The Ruby is caught in a tight position. Might just go down a good wall. Guardian wall coming in, able to stop the pressure, just giving DC a few more kills on the board.
Yes, sir, but the turtle is still up for the take. Both the teams are still brawling around it. We can see the Hilda already going with the wilderness. Out of the wilderness, but will not get the kill. But the turtle will go to the side of Team Boomer Esports here, though, Quentin.
Yep, a disengage coming in from the side of DC. A very disciplined play. The turtle does get taken away. They do get whatever they want. And Demonic Creed, they have had enough. They just want to just ease back a little bit and set up for their teams to do a little bit more easier fights. That was a little bit of a risky engage. Now, back in the bot side, we do have the Vexana trying to catch out Vecna, but that is an Aerithel. It's going to be risky too. It'll be difficult to actually catch her.
Yes, while all those fights were going on, we can see the Bruno really farming pretty well, you know, like he's leading the goal for both the teams. But here comes the wild charge, perhaps another engage.
We have the heavy crossbow already extended. Now Vecna needs to be in a better position over here. Good wall coming in from the Grok. Is able to catch out two members. Ling going onto the backside, has to pop the Tempest of Blaze. Might be in a tight spot as the Bruno might be able to just take him down. Seems like for the side of Boomer Esports, their team is in a better position to actually just turn this around. But now with the rotation coming in from both the Hilda, seems like Boomer Esports, they barely survive. As Demonic Creed, they have other problems to attend to across the map.
Indeed, the game is so back and forth right now. Like both the teams are not giving in despite having a different draft approach. They are playing it all out in an all brawl out situation. And yes, just when you think one team is leading, the other team just takes the charge and just change the tide of those fights. And yes, but I would really have to give it to Wiz with those amazing walls. The guardian barriers are really being those great wall of China for Team Boomer Esports here. They're not able to descend across it at all.
Oh, the Penguin Claws do connect, but not the bad impact. Here comes the Grok with the ultimate, but the turnaround coming in from the side of Boomer Esports. They are trying to do much here, but the Matilda going in with the Circling Eagle is forced to retreat, not being able to get his team back into this fight. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we have the Hilda, who does get caught off by the Alpha. That gives the side of Boomer Esports a little bit more leverage to actually take down this turtle.
But the Ling is there already having that level lead, can steal it away if he wants, but a good... I am offended from that Ruby denying that steal from this Ling. What a play, man.
He is able to slightly get away. Could have been worse for the side of Demonic Creed, but Boomer Esports, you have to give them credit. They are doing well this match.
Absolutely. I mean, they are not giving in at all. Like, like what I was telling you in the draft, that, okay, another engage.
We have a fight coming over here as Alpha just jumps right into his death. Now the Ling is pretty low. The Bruno, look at the damage coming in. He's able to get the shutdown onto the Ling. Might get another kill onto Wiz as well. But the Grok is able to walk away. Now the Sanguine Claws does catch two members. The side of Boomer Esports, the Vexana and the Matilda looking pretty low. But that is a tower getting shot down. Vexana able to take down the Grok, overextending a little bit too much, Wiz, as that is the first turret for the game going over to the side of Boomer Esports.
Indeed, sir, but onto the EXP lane, there is another, 2v1 going on.
10 TV in a very bad spot again, a little bit too aggressive, does fall to the Alpha Ruby combo.
Yes, this is what I was talking about. With the Alpha being in the jungle, it's going to be a hard time for that Hilda to do much. Even with the Revitalize, he's not able to sustain the true damage coming in from this Alpha. Like, it's really difficult for this, Hilda to do much across the map. I think he should just switch the lane at this point and just try to annoy this Bruno a little bit more, because the Bruno is really farmed at this point. You can already see him dealing so much damage in this fight, man.
Yeah, now Ling in the top side, he is trying to defend this top tower, but is not able to get taken down in the entire process. As the third turtle does spawn in, it seems like Boomer Esports, they want to get more out of it.
Yes, I think we should go for... I think the teams are asking for a pause here, who? Yes,
okay, I guess that is a pause. That's a very dangerous call, I'm not gonna lie.
Not the best timing to call for a pause, but yeah, we have to go it because the teams have been asking for it. But yes, Quentin, let's take a short while and just break the team fights down. That whatever is going on to the map, man.
Yeah, I guess there's a lot of skirmishes going left and right here. It's going to be interesting what happens here. Demonic Creed, they're playing a little too aggressive for their composition, especially in that early game. I think that that's where the side of Boomer Esports is taking that leverage.
Yes, like I feel, like I said in the draft, even like while going inside the game, the Land of Dawn, that the winning condition for both these teams are different. If team Boomer Esports, they can go for that, snowball kind of gameplay. They can just wipe out the side of Team Demonic Creed here. And yeah, so they're able to do that because Team DC, they are not really playing for their objective, that is the late game, and they're just going in for this early fight. You can see the damage is not enough from their side, and they do have the tanky members. What can you do if the other team is so farmed and so ahead of you, and they already are coming online with the Bruno having a good amount of farm? I think Team DC, they really need to play it a bit slower. They need to wait for their item power spike, and then they should, consider taking this fight.
Interesting, yeah, that is true. And we might just jump right into a fight immediately, right after this, though. So that's going to be interesting.
Yes, a bit. I feel Team DC, they are being a bit overzealous out here. They are not. They're like underestimating a bit the damage in the first minute, and with the Hilda pick not being too viable, I would say we haven't seen the Hilda doing too much into the EXP lane. I think, like I said, he should switch the lanes if he want to just annoy that Bruno a little bit, but with the Alpha already being so farmed, I think this Hilda cannot melt him down. So, I mean, at least, chunk him down so low.
So let's just get right back into it, I guess. Both teams looking for a disengage with the Grok going in, gets a 4-man ultimate. The Alpha, now caught in a tight spot, is able to just use the Guiding Winds to run away. Now the Hilda is able to run away as well. This is a lot of back and forth between the two teams.
Yes, a lot of poking here and there, but the last turtle of the game has been spawned, and I think Team DC will not contest for this year though.
Yeah, and coming back to the actual topic that we were talking about now, there's an immediate fight back from the side of Boomer Esports. The wall does catch up the Ruby, but she is able to get out of this easily. Now, coming back to the topic we had at hand, it's not more so, I believe, them over the opponents, but it's more so them overestimating their composition and going aggressive in the early game.
Indeed, I mean, you're absolutely right about that, but here the Erythus going for that bot lane push. Can he get out of there though?
Oh my god, that does not look like a safe spot. The sprint is also popped, but it's not enough to get away from the balls of Bruno. As Matilda creating more space, the Guiding Wing is already used up. Sicilian able to take down Sam, but Wiz gets taken out in the process. He's just taken down out for the count. The Sanguine Claws. Sicilian's damage is not stacking up right now, so it's still going to be a lot more time, and the Bruno's already online. It's looking very scary. Opposite side of the map, we have the Ruby getting harassed by Ling. Does get knocked out.
Yes, finally that Hilda able to redeem himself in the map, getting that shut down, but the kill went to the Ling, but I think that's a good shutdown coming to the side of Team DC here. They really needed to push that top lane to be more active around the map, to have more space to play around, but again onto the bot lane.
We have another fight breaking out over there. We have Alpha in that tight spot does get taken out by Grok. Now here's the Eternal Guard from the side of the Vexana. A good Guardian's Barrier stops the Vexana from escaping anymore, and without the Matilda to help the rest of his team, it seems like Boomer Esports, they are going to start struggling with these split team fights.
Yes, this is a good approach. Like I was saying, look, NPC just changing his target really will benefit them, but another skirmish.
We have the Tempest of Blaze also getting used up. Another good Guardian's Barrier, but this time it's good. I'm offended onto two members, but there's not enough damage from the side of the Bruno yet to actually take down members. So that's overall a good trade for the side of Demonic Creed. They are starting to play back into discipline. They are able to take that second tower as well, and a good two-man ultimate from the Grok secure the kill onto the Ruby. Now the Alpha is caught in a tight position. The Bruno is there to help out, but with the Irithel securing one more kill, Bruno, with the flicker, able to take down Irithel to secure that mega kill.
Yes, but meanwhile, that Ling is all about pushing the lanes onto the top lane, but they might try to get this Ling, I believe.
There is 2 members onto him, but the Tempest of Blades into the Eternal Guard. He is able to survive for just a little bit more. Will he be able to get out of this? It might just be a turnaround. The Matilda able to survive for just a little bit, but the Ling able to secure the killing spree onto the Vexana. That a little bit. This is what I was talking about. Boomer Esports, they seem to struggle a lot when it comes to their members splitting up. Comes down to the communications between the 2 members.
Yes, absolutely. That was really amazing mechanics coming in from Nick, going back to his play to get that extra cooldown to, get that kill. He really turned that around so well all by himself, going in that, 2v1 situation, still winning it out. I think that's really onto that player. But yeah, Team Boomer Esports, they're really underestimating and they're just going for these 2, isolated fights here. But again, another engage perhaps.
We have the Grok already getting engaged upon the Silkman Eagle already used out, but this is the late game potential coming in from the side of Demonic Creed. They are doing quite a bit of damage. The Sicilian able to pre-hit a little bit more, is able to take down Ruby, who's the first to fall. Viz does get traded out in the process, but the Ling is also low. Now it seems like Boomer Esports is jumping straight onto Vecna, who does go down in the process. This was a good turnaround from the side of Boomer Esports, as they now have potential to seize this Lord.
Indeed, Team Boomer Esports, they're throwing everything at Team DC here. They're not leaving them any space to play with just after they engage with every skills that they have. And just a moment delay, and look at that.
The Sicilian trying to get something over there. They do trade out the Alpha. We do have the power of the Wilderness missing onto the minion. I guess that's where it's supposed to actually go since there's a hunter. But, well, Demonic Creed, they have some response to this Lord take.
Indeed, but again, I'll engage.
We have the Bruno going in, but it's not enough. The Tempest of Blaze is able to pick up a double kill for the side of the Ling Ling. Will he be able to get away from the Silken Eagle? Nope, Matilda is able to get that shutdown and just walk away. But I think so it's time for DC to start punishing. A good I'm offended onto the Aircel gets up pretty low, as the rest of DC are trying to defend the goal laner, able to do that pretty well.
What a save by Kenteezy, man. That was good, response from this EXP laner to save his mage. And yeah, I would say Team DC, they just need to really play for their game objective out here, and they can do it really well. As you can see, as we are slowly nearing to that mid to late game, Team DC, they're really able to do better as each minute passing. And for the side of Team Boomer Esports, they are a bit hasty, I would say, with this team fights. They're trying to get those members, but with the tank being too away from the mage and the marksman, I think that is something Team Boomer Esports really need to watch here if they want to win the game.
Exactly. Now, the scaling composition that Demonic Creed have put out is going to actually, as the minutes tick by, they just want to get stronger. They have that Sicilian with infinite scaling potential. They have a Ling that works well in the late game. Whereas for the side of Boomer Esports, the Alpha starts to fall off. We have the Ruby that just turns into a meat shield in the late game as well. So it's going to be very interesting whether or not Boomer Esports, they are able to rely on their Bruno for long enough to actually turn things around. Now Alpha just gets jumped upon. The Spirit of Alpha does catch 2 into the Eternal Guard. Tempest of Blades is not enough to actually secure 1 kill. He does get the Alpha but gets traded out by the Matilda. Instead, the Bruno is in the fight. But now both teams, they don't have their junglers.
Yes, but that was not a very good decision coming in from Nick to go too deep. The kill would have gone to the side of Team DC anyway, but he wanted to be the person to get that kill for their side, and that was just, the window that this Ruby was looking for to get that shut down onto that Ling. So I think Team DC, they need to be careful with their engages a bit, because if Team Boomer Esports, they decide to go for those 5v5 fights, I think they can, get the better trades here.
Yeah, now Boomer, they are able to just send minions towards the turrets of Demonic Creed, try to even out the playing field here, as they have lost that bot turret, their 2 side turrets as well. Now the Lord spawning in 10 seconds doesn't make it even better. The Alpha is already in the bot lane. We might have a little bit of a skirmish before this Lord fight, as the dance seems to have sort of begun. Good Guardian barrier to block out a few members. everyone seems to be in position, but look at the rotation coming in from the side of Demonic Creed. Once they see the Ling on that bot lane, I think that would give Boomer Esports a little bit of leverage. Look at that Iron Hook. I'm offended onto the Sicilian, just immediately popping. This does not look good. Demonic Creed are starting to follow here. The Bruno's damage is scaling. The Ling can't do much. He just has to wait and watch, try and find pickoffs around the map, but that is 2 members down for the side of Boomer Esports. And it seems like they just want to end the game right here.
Yes, they just want to go for that kills, but I think they will play the discipline route and go for that Lord though. But I think that was a very well played fight from the side of Team Boomer Esports. They got what they were looking for, and that I am offended with the flicker play could be, the game-changing play that Boomer Esports were looking for. They can take the game away from Team DC here.
Indeed, now it seems like with that Lord already taken away, Boomer Esports, they are seeming to actually just crush the side of Demonic Creed. This first game looks a little bit too sloppy from both teams, but overall, Boomer Esports, it looks like they are doing pretty well for themselves.
Indeed, just when the Bruno picked up that BOD, the damage power spike just came in, but another engage.
We have the Lord crashing into the mid side. We have the Tempest of Blades also getting used up over here, but a lot of spells being used. Ling does go down, but so does the side of the Alpha. Now the Alpha is just turning into Michi. I think it's a better trade-off for the side of Boomer Esports. Look at the damage coming in from the Airtel, though. The Matilda gets chunked immediately. Now, a good I'm offended pulls back a few members, but they are able to get that mid inhibitor. Sicilian almost able to secure that kill onto the Bruno. A good cut down would be pretty effective for the side of Demonic Creed, but they don't sadly get it.
Yes, but that was too close for comfort for that Bruno, almost getting taken down. He does not want that to happen. I think if this Bruno gets taken down, that would be the window that Team DC are looking to shut down the side of Team Boomer Esports to take that game away. But another fight.
We have a very aggressive position coming in from the side of the Ruby. A good I'm offended onto the Grok, but the Grok does get a 2-man stun and is able to get away safely. Bruno does get his fill, securing that blue buff away from the Ling.
Yes, as just we are entering the 18th minute mark, I think both the teams have picked up most of their items. We can already see Bruno and Erythel with full build almost, and I think they will just switch up the boots later on. The Erythel already has, I think the Bruno will do it soon, but the Ling also with full build. I think Team DC, they can go for the aggressive if they want with, so much, with their conditions being met for this game, the late game that is.
That is now actually, as the Ling is spotted out from the side of Boomer. They do know that the Ling is still down there. They are sending members to check on it, but the Alpha on the other side gets spotted out by the Hilda. It might be a little bit more information now. With the Ling getting in a pretty interesting position, might have to pop the Tempest of Blades to try and stay himself alive. Is able to escape through all that crowd control. A good flicker also getting baited out from the side of the Ruby. There's not enough to catch out the jungler for the side of Demonic Creed, as Demonic Creed, they want to try and get something more out of it here. The Hilda is chunked pretty low, but teams like Boomer Esports, they're doing this turnaround. They want to actually take this fight.
Yes, with the Lord just spawning in about 10 seconds, I think they want to take a shutdown here before that, and look at the damage being placed onto Kentis. He'll still survive with that revitalized here, but I think this does skip the side. Okay, so many skills baited out again by Team Boomer Esports though.
I mean, that is a lot of spells getting baited out, but will Demonic Creed have the advantage to actually just jump right into this fight? The Lord starts getting a quarter of his HP chunked over there. Now we have the Tempest of Blades popped up pretty early for the side of the Ling, but the Sicilian's damage is starting to rack off. If he can land these hits, he might be able to do well. The Hilda already using the Winter Crown as the Irisel tries to storm in through, gets taken down by the Alpha in the process instead. And it seems like even though with the members low, Bruno is down, but Nick is taken out of the question as well. This does not seem to be looking good. They feel like Boomer Esports, they are pretty unhealthy over here as Demonic Creed. They do lose 2 members, but they stop the Lord's peak.
Yes, they can still take it. They have the jungler alive here, but I think this Alpha still trying to go for that fight, but I think they should just focus a lot here though, because with 2 members, with 3 members advantage, they can, do a lot better here.
Yeah, and now the Grok just using that conceal to wrap around. The Lord is already half HP. There is the retribution, so this is a confirmed Lord for the side of. I was waiting for the steal, but sadly Wizard is not able to actually secure that, as that is the Hilda and the Grok getting knocked out as well. As Sicilian is left to retreat, Boomer Esports securing the Lord and 2 more kills. This does not look good for the side of Demonic Creed.
I would say CR really saved the game out there. If that Lord went to the side of Team DC, here things would have really taken the turn. And I think Team DC, they can defend it if they want, but without just one inhibitor turret, it does seem a bit slim though.
Goodness me, we have to see as the Lord does march down mid. With the members of the side of Boomer Esports displaced a little bit, it might not be an immediate end. We might see a few clashes here and there. The Alpha does catch out the Ling, but the Tempest Blade is used up. Will the Alpha be able to survive? Yes, he does pop the Winter's Crown. He is able to look at that prestigious pop his HP back up, and is able to actually the Sphere of Alpha connecting onto the Aerosol, but the Wild Charge does come in from the Grok. We do have Sicilian being able to take on the Aerosol, but the Alpha, but the Vexana trades out 2 members for the side of Demonic Creed. This turns out to be an all-out brawl, and the Bruno is yet to join the fight. He is able to get a double kill, and that's it. As Boomer Esports take game number 1.
Man, Boomer Esports played that last fight so well, even after losing those immortalities. But man, what was that heal onto that Alpha, those Quentin? I was so shocked to see that. He just instantly went from 0 to 100, like maybe 10 to 100 HP.
That is very interesting. He did not have any anti-heal stacks on him, so that just gave him that space to actually heal up completely. Yeah, exactly. With the VORTEX, Freezing, and Oracle, he's pretty tanky.
Absolutely, that really gave them the much more time that they needed for the rest of the members to just come in and deal the damage, because even after that Alpha was taken down, Team Boomer Esports, they didn't stop there. They were just playing on the aggressive, going in all out, trying to take down the members, and eventually with all the skills being used from the side of Team Demonic Creed there, I think Team Boomer Esports, they just knew what they had to do just to clear that battlefield out and just get that base turret. I think they played really well that game, man.
Exactly, and with that, I think so we are ready to jump into game number 2. Once the players do ready up, again, now it seems like Boomer Esports, they are in a comfortable lead against the opponents, so we'll have to see whether or not Demonic Creed are able to make their comeback potential there.
Yes, they do have, a tall wall to climb here. They need that, reverse sweep preferably to get this game back to their side, because they don't want to get eliminated here for sure, because they want to take this game to a best of 1 again. That is game 3, I believe, because I think Boomer Esports, they have the game in their hand, but Team DC, they can play it a bit better. I'm not taking any team side, but I just feel it's just a gut feeling. At this point, I feel like Team DC can pull the comeback for this game at least. I don't know what will happen in the 3rd game, but I think it's gonna be another game for us waiting.
Yeah, I guess while we wait, we might have a short little break between. So we will be back once the players are locked in.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys very soon. And yep, we'll be back in a short break, guys.
All right, guys, welcome back. We have some shortly sad news. The connection from the teams have been a little bit displaced here and there. They are not being able to connect well into the game or play well. So with that, I believe their remaining matches will be taken offline, off stream, as we will be closing up the stream for tonight. The match between Demonic Creed and Boomer Esports results will be posted in the Instagram page, so do follow Yama Esports to get notified of that. Anything to add, Ruben?
Indeed, that was a bit unfortunate, guys. We were while we were taking the break, we just got the confirmation that some members were facing some electric issues, and yeah, my co-caster mentioned, Quentin, with the reason, and yeah, we do have to go for a little bit offline stream here just to continue the match. I think it's a bit understandable to our viewers as well, because we don't want any just to cut off the action in the middle of the game. So yeah, we will post the result in the game, and thank you guys for joining in. It was really it was really great to have an active audience like you all. Yes, we will see you guys tomorrow again at the same time with the next best of 16. I mean, the round of 16, that is, with more amazing teams tomorrow. So do join in, do subscribe the channel, do like the stream, and yes, the result will get posted. And with that, I think it's the cue for us to go offline, isn't it, Quentin?
Yep. Thank you for joining. Remember to like, subscribe, and do share the stream. And with that, all notices will be updated in the Yama Esports Instagram again. And yeah, thank you for joining.